What's going on, everyone? Thank you for checking out another SGN video where it's all sim all the time. And I'm finally ready to release some sliders for MLB The Show 21. And we're going to have a little chit-chat before I get into the sliders. But first, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the bell. It really helps me out. I do drop a lot of content for most sports games. So if you're interested or you like what I got going on here, please definitely help me out and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. It takes 2 seconds of your time. All right, now we're going to have the conversation about this game. So I like this game a lot. It's really fun. But as far as the sliders go, we're going to talk about a couple things. The first is pinpoint pitching. So, guys, I tried. I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried. And I just don't like it. What I don't like about it is that when you don't have an accurate throw, there's no rhyme or reason to where the ball goes. I understand that if you aren't keeping your timing correctly or you don't pull the stick down and you just don't get the timing right, there's several aspects of it, but you don't get the timing right, I understand you're not going to throw it where you wanted to. What I don't understand is where the ball goes when you mess that up. There's no rhyme or reason. It just randomly goes somewhere. A lot of times it goes high. Even with messing around with sliders, man, just trying to figure it out, I don't like it, and you know what? I went back to analog pitching. Now, if you guys do like pinpoint accuracy pitching, I do have slider, like the adjustment that you'll need to use that. Okay, but for me, I went back to analog pitching. I like it. It makes so much more sense because if I pull down and I miss it to the left, guess what? The ball goes to the left. And if I'm a little too early, the ball will go high, or too late, the ball will go low. Like, it makes sense to me. So whenever time I throw it, the ball goes based on my input. I like that. I like having that kind of control. So anyways, this slider setup is using analog pitching. However, if you want pinpoint accuracy, I will tell you the 2 changes to make. Next, we're going to talk about sliders in general. As you guys know, I make sliders for Madden and 2K, and I talk about one thing all the time, and that's to use the sliders as a base, because everybody's skill level is different and everybody's team that they're using in franchise is going to be different as far as the talent. So you're playing with a lesser team, hitting's going to be harder, pitching's going to be harder than if you're using a team like the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Padres. You get what I'm saying. So treat this like a base. You go into it, you play several games, 5 games. You get a feel of where you're at with these. Maybe the CPU pitching's a little too easy. Maybe hitting's a little too easy. Maybe hitting's a little too hard. Like, you can kind of pinpoint where exactly you feel like a change needs to be made, and you can tweak it a little bit. I am a firm believer in dynamic difficulty off, because I don't think the game should get harder as you get better, because you might be getting better because your team's getting better. And I don't think you should be punished for that. Most of us play franchises to put on our GM at and try to rebuild teams. That typically means you're going to get a better team. So if you start with a really bad team and you work up and you work really hard and you get them built up good, that should reflect. So I have dynamic difficulty turned completely off. We'll just get that out there. Next, we're going to talk about is the trade slider. We'll kind of talk about that. That's a slider that moves through the season. So it starts off low, and then it gets you're going to crank it up once you get into June and July and August, and you're going to turn it back down again. So just pay attention to that. Anyways, that's kind of it for my intro to this video. I'll go ahead and show you guys the slider setup, the gameplay setup for you, and I'll kind of talk through some of them as well. Otherwise, that's it for seeing my face, and yeah, let's get into the video. So if you do want to go ahead and just download the sliders, here is information for how you can find them in the vault. They are uploaded. They are my official release 1. This is everything fresh, and of course, if I make tweaks and everything, you guys will see that. Otherwise, of course, this is based off a simulation. We're gonna go through a couple things. Now, one of the things I want to talk about with the hitting is the hitting view, strike zone 2. So 100% hitting view is going to make hitting easier or harder. There's no other way to put it. I'm not very good at hitting, so Strike Zone 2 helps me out with these sliders because of the view. Now, you can use whatever view you want to use. Just know that if you're not getting the results you're expecting as far as hitting the ball, it might be because of the view. So view changes. So if you're using where it's way back and you can see the whole batter, it's going to be harder to hit the ball than if you're using Strike Zone 2. It's just facts. So just keep that in mind, that your hitting view does affect how hard or how easy it is for you to hit the ball. Next, again, I talked about how I went back to pure analog, and for those of you guys who are a fan of pinpoint pitching, look, I have nothing against it. I think it's going to be something that, like 2K and shot timing, it's going to take a couple years for them to get it down. So I will go over the slider changes you're going to want if you want to use this setup with pinpoint pitching, because like I said, I tried and tried and tried with this slider set. It was the one thing holding me up, and I just went back to what I liked, what I enjoyed, and where I had fun playing the game, which is pure analog. As far as the advanced goes for general, a lot of this is kind of up to you. This is just how I have it set. This is all personal preference. Again, none of this is really going to impact how the game plays, but this is where I have it set up. Presentation-wise, again, this is all up to you. This is just what I am using. I do like having a broadcast element to the game. I enjoy it, but you can use whatever you want to use. Now for the sliders, like I said, dynamic difficulty, I already talked about it. I have it zeroed out. I don't want that to be a part of my sliders. Sliders, you adjust, you can change anyway. So if you start getting really good at hitting, tweak the slider. Don't do dynamic difficulty, because we don't want it to change because your team's getting too good or something like that. Obviously, you know what's real and what isn't, or realistic, I should say. So just kind of keep that in mind when you play these. As far as the pinpoint accuracy, you're going to bump up the control for human. Human pitching control is going to be 8 and consistency is 6. If you use pinpoint accuracy, make those two changes. Control at 8, consistency at 6. And, I did talk about how the trade slider is something you're going to want to change in your franchise, how you're going to want to bump it up in June and July. So I have it set up, I believe, at 2. You're going to want to bump it up to like 6 or 7 in June or July, and then drop it back down to 3 or 4 in August. It's kind of whatever you want to do, but definitely bump it up. You want to have it low for the first 2 months of the season for sure. Anyway, guys, that is it for the slider video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me some feedback in the comment section below. Remember, treat these as a base, not as absolute. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Take care. Stay tuned in the next video. Peace.